Hello students. Today we'll be discussing upon the gating system and the riser, which is the last part of the casting process. The topics under gating that we shall be discussing would be the concept of gating, functions or requirements for a gating system, and different types of gates. So what is gating or a gating system? It is nothing but a basic design which is needed to construct a smooth and a proper filling of the mold cavity of the casting without any discontinuity, voids, or solid inclusions. A proper method of gating system is that it leads the pure molten metal to flow through a ladle to the casting cavity, which then ensures a proper and smooth filling of the cavity. So this depends on the layout of the gating channels too. So there are different components for a gating, that is spruce, the pouring cup, the runner, the in gates, or you also called as gates. So this is a general gating system. So you have this parts, that is spruce, then you have the runner here. These are the in gates, or you call them gates. This is the pouring cup. Spruce. A spruce is a vertical passage way through which the molten metal will enter into the runner. It is also called as a down gate or down spruce. The spruce is tapered in cross section, so it's larger in diameter over here and smaller in diameter at the bottom. At the top, connected to the pouring cup, while its smaller end is connected to the runner. Next, the pouring cup. The enlarged portion, usually the funnel shaped of a spruce, at its top, into which the molten metal is poured. This is called as a pouring cup. In some cases, a pouring basin is used instead of a pouring cup. The difference is pouring basin has a larger opening compared to the pouring cup. Also, it makes pouring a lot easier, and it eliminates the air pickup and reduces the momentum, that is flow of liquid into the mold by settling first into it. Next is the runner. A runner is a horizontal passageway through which the molten metal flows into the gates. The cross section of the runner, it could be either a square section or it could be trapezoid, and its length is very large compared to its width. So you see the length is very large compared to its width. A runner extension, this is this part. It's a small portion of the runner that extends beyond the last gate, and this is generally used to trap the slag or impurity that is there in the molten metal. And the last one, that is the in gates. The in gate or gate is a short passage which carries the molten metal from the runner to the mold cavity. The gates used may vary in number and depends on the size of the casting and rate of solidification of the molten metal. A gate may be built as a part of the pattern, or it may be cut in the mold using a gate cutter tool. Next, the functions of a gating system. The different functions of a gating system. So it should help for the easy and complete filling of the mold cavity, and it also should allow the liquid metal to flow into the mold cavity with a very low velocity and also with the minimal turbulence. So next, it should prevent mold erosion, should provide directional solidification, it should regulate the rate of flow mold cavity. Also, it should provide high casting yield. In other words, the amount of metal solidified in the spruce or the runner, the gates and the risers should be less, making the casting yield high. And incorporate a system for trapping slag from the molten metal and deliver a clean metal into the mold cavity. It is very interesting to know how this requirement is achieved. Liquid metal generally it flows turbulently from the pouring basin into the vertical spruce. This turbulence usually does carry slag down the spruce into the runner and to the mold cavity, where it could cause a defect in the casting. So it should be known that the flow of a metal through the in-gate commences only after the end of the runner stops the flow. So for this reason, the runner includes in it an extension that is called as the runner extension past the last in-gate to trap the slag in the initial molten metal. Now, different types of gates. The common types of gates that we find are the top gate, the bottom gate, and the parting gate. So, top gate is generally why? Because the cavity here gets filled from the top. Bottom gate, the cavity here gets filled from the bottom. So, through its name itself, it denotes what its function or how it behaves. And parting line gate, the cavity gets filled at the parting line. So, in a cope and drag, you have a parting line. There, it goes and fills the cavity. So, now top gate. So, if you just look into the figure, so you see you have the molten metal and you have this pouring cup, and this is the cavity, the mold cavity, and this is the cope, and the bottom part is called as a drag, and what is surrounding the mold, the cavity, is the sand. Parting line is the one that separates the cope and the drag. The top gate, so called because the molten metal from the pouring basin is fed directly into the mold cavity. Okay, so you can see this here on the figure. So top gate on one hand is advantageous because hottest metal remains at the top of the casting. This promotes directional solidification from the casting towards the gate. Top gate serves as a riser too. So as the cavity gets filled, the molten metal can rise up to the surface, and later it can be used to fill the cavity as the metal solidifies. On the other hand, the use of top gate is limited because the turbulence of the falling metal tends to erode portions of the mold as well as entraps air and metal oxides in the cavity itself. Okay, second one is bottom gate. The bottom gate is so called because the molten metal enters the mold cavity from the bottom. So here you can see there is a spruce and the runner, and through the bottom the molten metal enters into the cavity. In the previous case, the molten metal used to enter from the top, so it was called as a top gate. Now here it enters through the bottom, so it is called as a bottom gate. The molten metal fills the bottom portion of the mold cavity and rises steadily and gently up the mold walls. Bottom gate minimizes turbulence and erosion in the mold cavity. So since it is not directly entering into the cavity, so that is how it reduces the erosion as well as the turbulence. But the problem here is, since the molten metal enters into the spruce, the area over here needs to be a lot stronger. The bottom gate minimizes the turbulence and erosion in the mold cavity, but provides unfavorable temperature gradient that do not promote directional solidification. So as the molten metal enters here, it starts solidifying from here. So the reason is that in the bottom gating, the molten metal at the bottom of the mold remains hot. Molten metal here tends to remain hot, and as the molten metal rises up, it becomes hard or solidified. As the metal rises in the mold cavity, it loses heat, and metal which finally goes into the riser located at the top of the casting is comparatively cooler than the metal near the in-gate. So bottom gating is preferred when side risers are used. There are different types of bottom gates. One that we talk about is horn gate. So horn gate is a type of a bottom gate that resembles the horn of a cow. So horn gate is a type of a bottom gate where it resembles a shape of a cow horn. So this type of gate, which is a part of the pattern with smooth curves and progressive change in the dimension, is designed to minimize the mold erosion and oxidation of the molten metal. However, the horn gate is prone to jet effect. Now since the size, the diameter reduces, so as it enters into the cavity, it tends to have a form a jet. That is a problem. So it is prone to a jet effect. So this is because the end of the horn gate leading to the mold cavity has the smallest section. So this effect can be minimized with the use of a reverse horn, which we can see in the figure B. So the smaller diameter section is on the other side. Now the section connecting to the cavity is of a larger diameter. So horn gating system eliminates the need of in-gate since it is a part of the pattern itself. So this type of pattern, which is a part of pattern with the smooth curves and progressive change in the dimension, is designed to minimize the mold erosion. The third type of a gate is called as parting line gate. So parting line gate, as it says, it's a most commonly used type of gate, and it is comprised of top and bottom gates. The gate is provided at the parting line of the mold as shown in the figure. Now the next topic is riser. Generally during solidification, as the molten metal starts cooling, it tends to shrink in its volume. Now at this stage, it so happens that it does not have the source of molten metal feed. So in such a case, it generally would tend to appearance of voids or defects in the casting. So this method of providing a reservoir of metal is called as riser, and the process is called as rising. So you can see here, this is the mold, the square box is a mold, and what is inside is the liquid metal. So a riser of feeder head is a vertical passage generally made in the cope to store the liquid metal and supply the same to the casting as it solidifies. Now the molten metal flows into the casting, through the gatings, it fills the cavity, and then it rises up through the riser till it stops. Now at this moment, the pouring of the stop. So once it reaches the top of the riser, stop the pouring of the molten metal. The metal in the cavity starts shrinking. So you can see, and to compensate for this shrinkage, since there is no additional metal is supplied, there is the riser that is being. So the riser comes to use to accomplish the required task. Since the riser is the last portion to be fed with the molten metal, the metal contained in the riser will be in the liquid state and the runner, and thus the liquid metal that is in the riser, it will flow into the cavity and thereby compensating for the shrinkage effects. Now the riser continues to feed the liquid metal to the casting. So you can see here the riser that is over here, it tends to supply the liquid molten metal into the casting until the casting has completely solidified. So this is an excess metal which can be removed later. What is required is the entire casting needs to be filled with the molten metal to prevent any defects occurring in. Now, what are the functions of a riser? The main function of a riser is it should supply the molten metal and eliminate the shrinkage of the. Now, the major function of a riser, it has to be supply the molten metal and eliminate the shrinkage in the cavities. For a sound casting, a riser must be large enough to freeze after. So, the ratio of volume to the surface area whole square of the riser must be greater than that of a casting. However, when this condition does not meet, the metal in the riser can be kept in the liquid state by heating it externally. So this helps continuous feeding of the liquid metal into the solidifying casting so that the shrinkage cavities are. Next, it should provide directional solidification. So a riser should be located in a position that will always cause the directional solidification from the casting towards it. Without directional solidification, liquid metal in the casting may be cut off from the riser, resulting in a possible defect. Also, it should help escape of any airs or gases that are present in the cavity. Major things solidify later than the casting. So the casting should solidify first, and then the molten metal in the riser has to solidify. Otherwise, it will not be able to provide the necessary required molten metal into the. Next, should promote minimum wastage of metal. So reduce the wastage of metals, and also stores excess quantity of metal. So these are those very important. Next, the types of riser. So basically there are two types of risers. One is an open riser. Open riser, by its name, it means it is open to the atmosphere. And blind riser, again by its name, it means it is not open to the atmosphere. Types of riser. Basically there are two types of risers: open riser and blind riser. Open riser is open to the atmosphere. Blind riser is close to the atmosphere, or not visible to the surface. So what is open type of riser? Here the riser is kept open to the atmosphere. Just the riser here is, the riser here to the atmosphere. This part is open to the atmosphere. An open riser is usually placed on top of a casting or the parting surface of the mold as shown in the figure. Here the gravity and atmospheric pressure causes the liquid metal in the riser to flow into the solidifying casting. But when a certain thickness of liquid metal on the top surface of the riser solidifies, the atmospheric pressure will no longer be effective in feeding the molten metal. However, the open riser is generally used in the foundries. Next, the blind riser. Blind riser, these are covered with the molding sand and it is not exposed to the atmosphere directly, MCs. So blind riser on the other hand is surrounded by the molding sand on all sides and is in the form of a rounded cavity. So it is not visible out. So it is this part. Okay, this is the spruce through which the molten metal is poured. It may be located either in the cope or in the drag. Since the riser is closed from all the sides, atmospheric pressure is completely shut out. The pressure due to the force of gravity is also reduced due to the formation of vacuum within this body. In some of the improved designs, a permeable dry sand core fitted to the top of a blind riser extends up through the cope to the atmosphere, and due to its permeable nature, air is able to enter the riser and exert some pressure. There is also less chilling effect due to the use of dry sand core, and the solidification of the riser is slowed down, thus making it more effective. Sometimes artificial pressure is created in the blind risers by putting some explosive substance in the riser cavity. When the substance comes in contact with the molten metal, it explodes, creating a high pressure within the riser. So you see there is chaplet over here. Chaplet is to support the core. So when the chaplet comes in contact with the molten metal, it melts along with the molten metal and forms a part of a casting. So this is what a blind riser is. So we discussed on two types of the risers, the open riser and the blind riser. So with this, the topic on gates or gating system and riser is being covered. Thank you.